Alright, so we are ready to start to build our project. I've created a new folder on the desktop called Foods, in which I have another folder for the images. Let's go ahead and open this folder in VS Code. The first thing that I'm going to do is to create our working files for HTML, CSS and JavaScript. I'm going to call them index.html, style.css and script.js. Then open the index.html file and create a basic HTML document. For that I'm going to use a built-in VS Code package called an emmet. We need to place here an exclamation mark and hit tab or enter. So here we go. We have here the basic HTML tags. First of all, let's go ahead and change the title. I'm going to insert here foods. Next, let's link CSS and JavaScript files. So I'm going to open link tag. And then we need to specify here the path of the file. We just need the name of the file, style.css. As for the JavaScript, I'm going to open script tag right above the closing body tag. And in the source attribute, we need to specify script.js. Besides that, I'm going to bring in here one more link for font awesome icons. So let's go to the Google and search for font awesome CDN.js. And grab the first link from here, then open a link tag in the head element and paste the link as the value of the href attribute. Okay, so all three files are connected and now it's time to run the project to the browser. For that I'm going to use one of the VS Code packages called a live server, which allows us to run the project live to the browser and make updates and changes without refreshing the page each time. Okay, finally, I'm going to place the text editor and the browser like so. And get started. We're going to build the project section by section. We'll create the markup for each section and then style each of them. I'm going to start with the first section. It consists of the heading and a couple of font awesome icons, which as you can see are animating nicely. So let's go ahead and start to create the HTML markup. At first, let's open the div element, which is going to be the container. Let's assign to it class name container. Then I'm going to insert here comments, section 1, end of section 1. Then open section element with a class section 1. So as we said, the section element will include the heading and a couple of font awesome icons. So let's open the h1 heading tag with the class section heading. And as the content, let's insert here variety of foods. Next we need to insert here font awesome icons, but at first let's open the div tag, which is going to be the wrapper of these icons. I'm going to assign to it class section 1 icons. So overall we will have 10 different icons. So let's go ahead and create them quickly. I'm going to open I tag with the classes FAS, FA, egg. Then let's duplicate this line of code 9 times and quickly change the class names. The second one is going to be stroop waffle. Then we will have cheese, hot dog. The next one is going to be drumstick bite. Then we will have apple out, ice cream. Next we will have fish, cookie and seedling. Alright, so that's it about the HTML markup of the first section. Now we have to start to write some CSS. Throughout this project I'm going to use one of the Google fonts called Nunito. So let's go to the Google Fonts website and search for Nunito. Then I'm going to grab here all the styles except italic. So let's check them. Then I'm going to grab the URL. For that we need to click here, import, and then copy this URL here. Let's paste it in CSS file. Alright, next I'm going to create a couple of common and default styles. So I'm going to insert here, comments, common styles, then end of common styles. Then select every element. For that I'm going to use an asterisk. So at first I'm going to get rid of the default margin and padding from every element. Let's set both of them to 0. Then I'm going to set box sizing to border box. Also get rid of default underlines from the link elements. For that we have to use text decoration with the value none. Then remove the default outline. We need to set it to none. Also change the font family. Let's set it to Nunito, sans serif. And finally, change the font weight. I'm going to make it 400. Alright, so as you can see, some of the common styles are applied to the elements. The next thing that I'm going to do is to set the font size. So throughout this project I'm going to use rem as the measurement unit. By default 1 rem equals 16 pixels because the font size of the HTML element is equal to 16 pixels. I'm going to convert 1 rem into 10 pixels. And in order to do that, we have to decrease the font size of the HTML element. We need to make it 62.5%. So in this case, 1 rem will be equal to 10 pixels. Okay, so as you can see, the elements became smaller, and actually with the common and default styles we are done. Let's go ahead and start to style section 1.